Hello there everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. We're waking up for the first time in our dorm room. And I gotta say, I just rearranged my bedroom recently. And like when you wake up in a strange room, like even if it's a familiar room and it's just strange because of it's not what you expected, it's a little freaky, you know? So let's get back in. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. Or is that an exclamation mark, question mark? I can't even tell. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed, it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from the foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like I'm dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but that feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. Man, I would so dig school uniforms. It would just make life so much easier. Like, I know people are like, but my individuality, and it's like, no. School uniforms look good when everyone's wearing them, and you don't have to worry about getting dressed, you know, picking out clothes. I would be so down. That goes for other things too. So far this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I don't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfect and evenly flat. Sorry, Chi-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, He-chan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha doesn't... Please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there really isn't anything else to do. There are even also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with that, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. Wahahaha! I don't know, He-chan. The truth is it's a local event, and I'm not from the area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Huh? Oh. Who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning in to look at our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve. With each new generation, the ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes. Ha ha ha! The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against the palm of his hand like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, brushing it off without a care. We're in the middle of class, and should start working. That's right, Chi-chan. What? That's right, He-chan. Are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? Could have been my eyes playing trick on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone has also changed, although it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl, go, "Why doesn't anyone say anything? Or why doesn't he say anything? He-chan? Is something wrong? Do I look uneasy as I feel? Or as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me, looking after the girl who left? No, nothing." "Okay, well, like you were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you?" "Thought I would go to the library and pick up some books." "Not really." "Do you want to have lunch together then?" "Sure." "Yay! Wahaha! Okay, He-chan, perfect!" The rest of class passes away uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. "Yes, it is, He-chan." "Impossible." "Really?" "Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha's always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm not used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, or I'm used to looking in the direction of the voice of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing, and it will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if she's surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. I almost said alluring glaze, which would be a type of donut. "Are you sure, He-chan?" "Very sure." "Haha! You're wrong, He-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them." Wahahahaha! Honestly, you can just use the Kefka laugh for her, and it's perfect. Shizune pushes her glasses up on the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and packs her bag, looking at me expectantly. I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. "Where do you want to eat?" "The cafeteria?" "Haha! That's so plain. Okay, let's go." "Plain? Well, I guess at my old school I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until the end of my freshman year. I gotta be honest, guys. Straight up honest here. I have no idea. Like, I sort of get it, but the idea of, like, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, those terms are lost on me always. I have no idea. Like, freshman means first year? Grade 9? I don't know, man. I don't know. That whole thing, we don't use those words in Canada, so whenever I read them, I just glance over them. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in class or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks off where we left off earlier. "So, He-chan, you want to know about clubs and stuff, right?" "Right?" Right, Chi-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they then turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Hee-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams or players or anything like that. As of late, I usually read a lot. There is a book club, right, Chi-chan? But it seems they all have the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hee-chan, it's a really popular club. Ah, okay. But more to the point, Hee-chan, does that mean you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good! Great! That's great, Hee-chan! Really great! Ha ha! Wah ha 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 ha! Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hee-chan, other than clubs in the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student Council! I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes the control of the discussion in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Haha! Right. Hee-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hee-chan. Shi-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shi-chan is the president. I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk to about this. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Hahaha! Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council, and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to, so you're admitting that... No, we admit nothing! I mean, Hee-chan, of course it'd be nice if you join, and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hee-chan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hee-chan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying really hard to work their cutest, although they're both pretty cute to begin with. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hee-chan. What? No. Aw, see, Shi-chan, of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right though. It would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shi-chan owes me candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life here is not a game, or my life is not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Wahaha! That's interesting, Hee-chan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hee-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Why not? Well, because you both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal, but what that means is both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline. Hee-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us? That you would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No. How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle, then you try to shoot it past goalposts the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hee-chan. And it's played by elementary and middle school children, Shi-chan? Wahaha! That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're surprisingly good at it. Hahaha! Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hee-chan? Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even know anyone who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hee-chan, how about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. Here's something fun. I have never played Risk myself, and I have absolutely no idea how to play it. It's really fun, Hee-chan. You fight for control of the world, with armies and everything. Seems like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Huh, really, Shi-chan? We can just play for fun, Hee-chan. Shi-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hee-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Wahahaha! I grimace to tell them about how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that it doesn't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without saying a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Wait, I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Oh, like ditching, got it. I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell. Wahaha! What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right. We're just gonna play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. This seems all a little sinister to me. I was starting to think that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still. For some reason, it seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capacity to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerfully. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's very plain, sparsely decorated, although it is quite large, maybe even larger than a classroom. There's a big table surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here, obviously named Charlie, of course, or something. But the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean no? Does it mean no one else is coming today? Yep, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Haha, okay. Do you know the rules? We can explain to you everything while we set up. Okay, I went to a board game cafe recently with a friend and her brother, and I gotta say, the whole thing of, I'll explain the rules as we set up it was like a risk type game. I was so lost. I forget, it was Axis and Allies. And man, board games are complicated. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. Don't do it, it's a trap. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to do this. Halfway through the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Shi-chan wants to know that you are taking too long to make a move. Shi-chan also says she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this game was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of the game. And anyway, no. Shi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. Wahahaha! You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Magnanimous? She doesn't understand what the word means or how it's signed, so she pulls out a little piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shi-chan. Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. I love that face. She says you have no chance if you were playing like this. No, you won't. Okay, it is totally a trap. Also, it's nice that it showed you if you've taken the path before. I've never even realized that's a feature. Okay, I'm gonna go, it's a trap. It's likely that she's trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense set up, and I'm not going to wreck it by doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist in the air in celebration. Wahaha! Shi-chan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Shi-chan, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5 army bonus, but you can attack from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, Shi-chan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Shi-chan. You don't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Shi-chan. Damn, what's into her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. I wonder if you'd be any good for the student council. What's this, reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining it or not in that case. Giving up like that? I expected more of you. Seriously, is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the student council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any of the other clubs yet. And these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to just take a look at the other clubs before I decide. Really, Shi-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah, I'm just not sure that I want to. Aww. Okay, Shi-chan, but we're not giving up so easily. You said maybe. There's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk, and maybe one day you could beat me, unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Wahaha! Surely you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we could play a game you know, to give you a handicap. I might have just said that to make you feel better after all. Aw, that's cold, He-chan. I take a glance at the clock on the wall, and realize I've been spending far longer playing Risk than I had expected. Sorry, I have to go. I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be open unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shi-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No, thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Alright. Thank you all for watching, guys, this amazing playthrough of Risk for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And next time we'll go to the library and see what is Izzy up in there. Grab some books and stuff. It'll be fun. See you next time, guys. Ciao.